Threads is by far the best marketing method for your OnlyFans agency, and in this video I'm gonna cover what changed and how you can make the most money off of it. Now, it's a huge claim to say it's the best marketing method, I agree. You have to imagine Threads is still in the early stages, right? Like, it's still getting developed. Like, that shit's not even like out really, right? Threads is completely new, it has a very low market cap, and it's already pumping new subscribers. I've seen tons of people in my friend circle go from 10-20 grand a month to 200-300 grand a month only with Threads. So I don't think you need any more proof than that. That shit's on fire, and I've already done a video on this. If you haven't watched that, then go watch it right now, because I've already explained the entirety of Threads in a latest video. So this video, I wrote down like 5 questions that I've got asked since this video the most. Everybody asked me these questions, so it's like kind of a Q&A. You know, maybe your question that keeps you up at night, that lets you won't sleep, that like stops you from getting an erection with your girlfriend is in this video. So stay tuned. I'm gonna answer every single change that happened since my latest video and what things to look out for. So one of the most asked questions that I ever got on Threads is like 2 questions in one. What is considered good in terms of views, conversion, etc. Just to give people a baseline, what they should aim for, what is normal, so to say, and what is actually a good setup. Now, it's kind of like Instagram, right? We want to look for like 1.5% conversion when we talk about link clicks to subscribers. So you want to get like 100 link clicks for 1 subscriber, and everything between 1 and 3% is very good. Everything above is fantastic. Everything below is shit. So if your conversion is below 1%, you definitely have a problem, and you should improve that, because it effectively means you work for nothing, right? If you have a 0.5 conversion, you have to make double the link clicks as, for example, I do to make the same amount of subs, which is not very competitive when you talk about the platform just going like bigger and bigger and bigger. So make sure your conversion is between 1 and 3%. Link clicks to subscribers. The next question that I get asked like every single day is, okay, let's say my conversion is shit. Okay, how do I improve it? How to improve the conversion on Threads? And there's 3 different things that you can do to improve your conversion like directly, like this. The first one is to interact with the comments on your posts way more. I know you think you probably do it already. Do it better, do it more. So that's the first thing. You want to interact with the people, you want to interact with the comments, reply, leave a like, etc. That's super, super important, because then the people get a feeling that you actually give a shit and you're not an agency run account, right? Because if the account never replies with the comments, the people already know it's probably an agency. They don't care, and also they don't really think this is a real person, you know? But if you interact with them, trust me, every subscriber you interact with in the comments has a way higher chance of getting to the OnlyFans site if you just reply to them, if you just likes, comment, whatever. The second thing is to use way more CTAs, call to actions, on your profile overall. So you have to see it like that. On Twitter, on Instagram, the OnlyFans link is very, very visible, right? It's blue, it's like directly in your face. It's very hard to miss it. Still, a lot of people do it. You still have to use CTAs, but apparently people know there's an OnlyFans link. They are in the game long enough, you know. If you see a chick with bikini pics on Instagram, you already know what's up, essentially. On Threads, this is different, because the link is like kind of gray, you know, you can't really see the link that good. And second of all, most Threads users aren't really used to this whole OnlyFans scene. They're not used to seeing a sexual post and already knowing, she's got an OF, I can subscribe. There's a lot of people who've never subscribed to OnlyFans girl. There's a lot of people who just don't know how this whole thing works. So make sure you have a shit ton of CTAs in your posts, in your bio, everywhere you can put them. And yes, it may sound spammy, and for all the other social media platforms, I'm the first guy to say, don't do too many CTAs. It's gonna hurt your brand identity. People are gonna think you're a scammer. But on Threads, this is super, super important. The third thing to improve the conversion like instantly is to have more unique and hotter posts. What do I mean by this? I will get to how Threads changed in terms of what you want to post, etc. But the more unique your posts are, and more importantly how hot they are, the better your conversion is gonna be. Yes, it's that simple. I can guarantee you it's that simple. We've done this as well. We had creators that were like safe for work, kinda. Fuck that. Fuck safe for work. Doesn't work. You want to get super, super hot with your posts. And that doesn't mean just showing titties. That doesn't mean showing skin. That means being aesthetically hot. Every guy watching this video knows there's a difference between being sexual and being hot. Like a chick that's just naked in front of you, yeah, that's fine. I mean, nobody's complaining. But like a nice set of lingerie, good lighting, a good angle, so it's like aesthetically pleasing, that shit gets the conversion up. I'm not talking about just holding your titties in the fucking camera. I'm talking about having like a nice lighting, a nice like background, you know, maybe black and white, just seeing the curves, like all this aesthetic bullshit. Maybe you have an eye for that, maybe not. For example, I don't really have a good eye for that. I'm not the most aesthetic guy. My partner has it. My partner is a super aesthetic guy. He has this eye for that. He knows how to make photos and all this shit. I don't. If you ask me to take your picture, it's gonna look like shit. If you ask him, it's gonna look like a movie star, okay? So make sure you have these aesthetically hot pictures on your profile, because that's what's going to keep the people there. That's what's going to get the people to the OnlyFans, because they see titties everywhere. Titties aren't like edge you have. Titties aren't good to compete. Everyone has titties, even fat guys. Go to McDonald's, you see titties. Some 50-year-old guy getting his 20 nuggets. Titties aren't competitive. You know what's competitive? Nice looking titties, well lighted titties, titties from a nice angle, titties from below, oiled up titties. That shit's competitive. So try to include all these different variations of titties in your feed instead of just normal titties. So yeah, you get the point. This is how you improve the conversion, moving on from the titties. Just keep in mind, quality content overall fixes 80% of your problems. On every social media, like as well, but especially on Threads. If you improve your content to a very high level, 80% of your problems will just go away. The conversion, not getting viral, not finding new people, being in the wrong niche, having a shit audience, bro, it's all gonna disappear. It's all about the content. I know all you OnlyFans management nerds, I know they're all into this IT stuff with their proxies and their spoofing methods, their SIM cards. Like it's fugazi. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. Every single social media, and especially Threads, is about the content. Yes, you need a good setup. Yeah, okay, all right. But the content quality itself does 80% of the job, all right? It's like, imagine you want to impress a girl, right? You want to have the best car to impress a girl. So you can nerd around about how much horsepower this car has and which tires and like which engine it has and like the top speed. No girl cares. Yes, that's maybe cool. All right, yeah, it may be important. But if the car looks like a Lambo and it sparkles because it's just been washed, that's what gets the girls, not the horsepower and all the technical details. Oh, it looks like a Lambo, he's rich, boom. That's how it works, and it's the same on social media. Don't waste your time with all the technical shit, improve the content, and you're gonna improve your revenue. It's that simple sometimes. So the next question I got a lot of times is, since I've done the latest video, a lot of people ask me like, hey, the video is like a couple weeks old now. Is there anything that has changed about your method? Is there anything that's like the new thing, you know? Is there anything that you changed in your approach? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what. First of all, I haven't really changed it, but I haven't put so much focus on it in the last video, and that is how to spot content that you can post, how to do the research, essentially, right? Because if you followed my YouTube for quite a while, you know I'm like this big fan of not copying other people, of coming up with your own content, being very, very unique. And while I even said in previous point, unique content is important, yeah. What works on Threads the best is copy, paste, recycle, improve. Just find out what works for others, shamelessly copy that shit, recycle it if it worked for you, and then improve it, of course. So just be this little Romanian stealing copper, you know, just fucking this little Jew, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna steal that, I'm gonna make a profit off of it. Do you want a loan, sir? Be this little gremlin that just straight up copies everything. And I know I've said the complete opposite for Instagram, for Twitter, for TikTok, and that's still valid, by the way. For these platforms, yes. But for Threads, just copy everything that moves. I guarantee you that works the best. I've even done this mistake myself. I've been super unique. I've been this nerd, right? I'm this big six-figure agency guy. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do my own approach and make more money than all of these nerds. It kind of worked, but like, to be fair, when I just copied like the content that was proven to work from other people, I kind of improved it, you know. I copied what worked for me, just kept posting it. I made the most money. So I'm a man, I have to admit, when my own philosophy changes for a certain situation, all right? So just Straight up copy, paste, recycle, improve. That's the easiest way you can make content and money from threads. It's that simple. Second of all, there's two things that I've implemented in my own strategy since the last video. The first one being that you really try to not post professional content. What do I mean by this? Don't be this influencer persona, or don't let your model be it. A lot of females think that posting on threads or on socials, you need to have like this professional photo shoots with a 4K camera because they've seen like a Bella Hadid reel or like Corinna Kopp do it, so it must work for them, right? Wrong, it doesn't work. You want to have this girlfriend kind of angle, like it's just like on Snapchat, you know, when you like were snapping with chicks in the past and they just sent you like a selfie with the camera. It's shit quality, but it's just very personal. That's the kind of content you want to post. You want to be very unprofessional, you want to be very basic, like this kind of girlfriend approach. That's the first thing. Keep the content very simple because people don't like professional content. That's very weird. I can give you a very good example where professionality destroys the purpose. If I want to buy a car and I walk into the car dealership and the salesman is just this super professional sales guy, like, hey, how you doing, sir? May I provide you with some offers? I'm already not listening. I know you're trying to sell me. I know you want to get your commission. I mean, I might talk to him to buy the car, but I'm not like interested in what he has to say. Yeah, you're just telling me a script. All right, yeah, just let it get it over with. I want this Lambo. No, not this one. I want this one. Other scenario, I walk into the car dealership and there's some guy who's like, hey, oh, bro, what's up? I'm Mike. Nice to meet you. Hey, you want to buy a Lambo? Yeah, sure. Let me give you a tour. Like, here we got this model, super fire. What are you looking for? Yeah, I want to pick up a couple chicks, drink some coffee. Got you, bro. Take this one. Just on a personal level, like, I know everybody's different, but 100 out of 100 times I buy from the second guy because he's just more personal and I actually feel like I can trust him more, which he's probably just selling in his own way, but that's the kind of shit that gets people to trust. You don't want to be too professional in certain situations, and in the adult industry this is the biggest problem because porn is already super professional. You don't want to be porn. You don't want to compete with the porn industry. You can't, and in the end, it's not profitable. You want to be your own niche. OnlyFans is amateur content. This is where it shines. So keep that in mind. The second thing that we implemented is that every post that gets viral, that gets views, gets instantly recycled the next day. We do the same on Instagram, by the way. Do the same on Twitter. But on Threads, it works 10 times as good. So if you see a thread of yours pop off, right? You just see, okay, boom, viral after a couple hours. I get a shit ton of engagement, shit ton of views. Already post it the next day. Don't wait, post it every single day until it stops working. It's that effective. Basically you got a winning formula, all right? You just found the thing, never change a winning team. You found, like, you cracked the code for one post, so why wouldn't you use it? If it goes viral once, it probably will go viral again. And you want to implement that in your strategy. So to get to the last question that I got asked the most as well, is how to get Threads accounts into the algorithm. Because as we all know, not every account you create is actually going to go viral, right? Some accounts, they just don't get quite picked up from the algorithm. They stay quite low. And some people have the problem that this happens to all of their accounts, right? They just don't go viral. So I'm going to give you a little cheat code that we use to get most of the accounts into the algorithm. Meaning, what we do is we use basically a cross shoutout system. Now, I've said in a previous video, don't just randomly shout out your Threads account to your IG, to your main Instagram, because A, you're gonna fuck up your audience, B, you're just gonna get all the people that already subscribe. But here's what you can do. Maybe you have a couple of other Threads accounts that are already doing pretty well. You have a couple of Instagram accounts where you have a very, very good audience. We're talking like 80 to 90% US audience or higher. That's very, very important. Maybe you have like a TikTok account, a Twitter, any social media where you have quite the following. It doesn't have to be 50k followers. It just needs to be enough so you get a couple of people at the same time checking your Threads account out. So what this does is it shows Threads that people give a fuck about you. Essentially, it's social proof. So shout out your new Threads account or your new Threads accounts, whatever. I highly recommend just doing one at a time. At your other socials, just be like, hey guys, just follow me here. Or if you want to do it very smart, and I can just suggest, don't be a lazy fuck. Don't just say, hey, follow me on Threads. Because nobody's really going to do it. Like my nigga, I follow you on 3 different socials. Why do I need to follow you on Threads as well? Like that, nobody really gives a fuck. So if you want to do it smart, tell them, whoa, like haha, my last story got instantly taken down, the picture was too hot for Instagram, I'm gonna post it on Threads, here's the link. Some shit like that. I mean, you can get very creative about that, right? I mean, it's not too hard to to shout out accounts in a smart way. But if you do this, let's say half of the accounts that usually wouldn't go viral at least get picked up by the algorithm. So if you have a good posting system, you make double the money if you work with the accounts correctly. But with Threads, there's a bunch of questions, right? I get asked Threads questions every single day, and I can't answer all of them in one video. I think this has been like the top 5, the most asked questions ever. But if you want to get every single question you have about Threads answered, then join my completely free OnlyFans management community. It's like 10,000 members at this point. You can just join via the link in the description. It's that easy. You can get all your questions answered, and 10,000 OnlyFans management agency owners are gonna help you. Like a shit ton of millionaires, I think over like 500 people making 5 to 6 figures minimum, probably 1,000. So join this community to not miss out any of this information. With that being said, I wish all of you a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.